Welcome to SoulKiller Sunday. Initiating the podcast in 3, 2, 1.
Went to a simple, like, kind of like green lawn care service.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Just to get on a first shift schedule, because we ended up doing like a trip. Came back, got onto that, and then got into another warehousing job. Was there for like 5 years, and then COVID happened. And right when that was going on, like we were still operating everything, but right when that it was really starting to pop off, they changed, or they pretty much sold the company, and it was bought. And I was working at like kind of like a printing press. They did a lot of like Pokemon, Nintendo stand stuff and everything.
Okay,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I was actually trying to get into their marketing office. Ever so slowly.
Just waiting for my time.
Well, it's just one of those things where it's like you kind of like keep going in, you're learning some things and some trades, and it's like, when you guys gonna have openings, and of course those never happen and everything because people are locked in. Rightfully so.
You got people that have been there for like 15 years and they're like, I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving yet, and it's totally understandable. But by the time they sold and everything, they were like, don't worry, everyone's jobs are secure and everything. We're like, all right, sick, cool. 2 days into the new 30, I was 37. 37 of us got called into the office, and we're handed a release check, or what is it called?
Severance.
A severance check. So that was nice for the check, but not when COVID's fucking rampant and everything. So what am I to do but to go back to Menards? I had one thing that I will say though about Menards is that I met a lot of good friends. Sure. A lot, and people I'm still friends with today.
Sure.
And I am very grateful for that opportunity, but man, fuck that place for its fucking, its upper management is just terrible, in a sense of, working with people, and, I understand it's a job and everything, but at the same time, there's gotta be some way of, being better about, being respectful and responsible to your employees in a sense of not overworking. I get it. We don't need someone who's a 60-year-old moving heavy door frames or something like that. But can we also not abuse the power of taking the young people and just constantly throwing them in that work
and then you're down?
And it's there's got to be some kind of better
balance.
And I get those jobs too, of finding those balances can be hard, but I just kept seeing no growth or any improvement, if that's a better way of saying it. So I was tired, and every day I kept going in, I felt I hated going in, man. Yeah. I went from, I have to drive now about 40 minutes to work. That does not fucking bother me. Sure. I went at Menards from where I was at was it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes if I were to haul ass.
Right there,
I have no problem going into work now. I actually look forward to my job.
Where's the brother in Christ?
Easy now, you.
Yeah, chill out. Where's the warehouse at to
Joliet?
Oh, okay.
And,
damn. So you're going from
for the depot or for the center and everything. It's out in Joliet. Yeah. But it's a back roads the whole time. I get on the highway maybe for 5 miles, and that's at the very end.
Yeah.
Again,
is that the tail end of 55 or something over there?
Yeah. For me, my happiness and my mental health is the day that I was gone from Menards, I called my wife and I was I feel so relieved. There's a weight off. And then ever since now, it's ooh, getting a little emotional, man. I fucking love, man. Dude, I love that job.
It's definitely something to say. We're rolling, by the way.
I figured as much. I figured as much.
This is kind of how I like to do them. I just like to rip it really quick. I'll intro you here. But we got Mikey on the podcast here, Mike Lowy. Everybody,
stuff my hands there.
Everyone, you're like sign language. I'm sure everyone who I don't know who's gonna even like watch this or whatever, but I'm sure most of the people that will watch this will know exactly who you are. So
hi, people. It's good to see you again.
And we got my dog Chase.
He's partying, man.
Yeah, he's partying pretty hard over in the background. So if you hear weird things or dogs whimpering, it is what it is.
He just wants
I'm not
to play.
cutting it out.
He just wants to play.
But yeah, so going back to what you were saying about growth and like in jobs and like the stress and stuff like that, it really is not worth. It is not worth the mental sanity and just like your mental decline to stay with some company, because at the end of the day, like they'll drop you like that.
Oh yeah,
no problem. And it's just like, and it's nothing. It's probably nothing personal. Even when they do it, it's just like it's business. Shit happens.
Right.
We got to make cuts. This, that, the other. But it's like, if you're fucking miserable, just go take care of yourself.
Yeah,
find something else. Yeah,
like I understand. Like there's gonna be times where it's gonna be like any job can. It's going to be a shit day. You could have a shit day any day, but it's been pretty good so far, right? And I can only say so much, but my mental health has definitely skyrocketed since leaving there and realizing that you can only do stuff for so long and everything. Sure. And it actually kind of comes in the terms with getting into what I've been doing for about like 9-10 solid years now, maybe a little more.
Damn, you've been shooting for a while.
It's like it's a progression and everything.
Sure.
And so to kind of rewind here a little bit and everything, I started doing graphic arts, particular to begin with, and that started high school, entry level.
Sure.
Brother Chris came home one day. He had like this mirror image of Korn, the logo, the silk screening and everything, but they did it on mirrors, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And I'm like, how'd you do that and everything? And I found out that in high school, that's what they got to do for one of their entry level classes, and I was like, I want to do that. And then ever since I did that, did some college. Unfortunately, I don't have any degrees and all that stuff and everything, but I have some pretty good creative ways of doing things, and also of learning and everything too. Not to say that I slacked off in high school. I freaking loved doing those classes, and I was a student aide. Like I took in all that stuff and everything. My dad was a big portion of that too, growing up. That's another reason for music and everything. Second generation drummer in my family. He was a drummer, had a little 3-piece CB drum set that I had. I got this one photo of me of wearing like this Marvin the Martian Looney Tunes shirt.
Dude,
me just that. Like I can't even. It's ridiculous. It had like one. It had just a hi-hat. It didn't even have a crash or anything. Like,
is it just like hi-hat, snare, kick?
Snare, kick, and tom. That's it.
Okay. Oh,
that is
3-piece. Yeah.
That is it. And I love that picture to this day. But music and art started from there and everything. And then my brothers and my mom and we were just very big on like creativity and everything in general. Like
very artistic family.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
From there again, did the whole graphic stuff through a little bit of college and everything. Got out of college because I was dumb and I should have stayed, but I was like, whatever. Like I didn't focus enough in it. ADD didn't help either.
I feel that.
Started doing bands. Shout out to an old school band, Reptura.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
So, well, they're still. I mean, you see them; they're still going around and everything, and they're actually starting to pump up here too.
Yep.
Andy and Tito are my boys, man. Like they actually Menards too. Again, a little more full circleness there. They work over there in the maintenance and played shows with those guys back in the day, like when in my bands and everything. And
what bands were you in?
Man, God, Terror over Corpus Christi, A Broken Halo, the Coriolis Effect was my last band.
Okay.
That would like nothing like Broken Halo and Terror Over Corpus Christi were probably like the bigger ones.
I definitely know Terror Over Corpus Christi.
Do you remember a bar called Doug's Bar and Grill in Aurora?
Yeah, I literally live like 5 minutes from there.
You remember when like those big metal shows would go there? We would play there a lot.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you saw me, that's where you would see. If you
Damn.
ever saw me play, that's where you would have a chance there.
Okay.
And then back when it was Mojo's, not the Forge.
Okay.
Mojo's, and then the Pearl Room.
I don't think I've ever
that was
heard of the Pearl
another. Where was that at? That's not a venue anymore. But
Sure.
those and Sound Lab, and there's another one. Oh, it had like that skate park. In it. We played with Rose Funeral back in the day.
Dude, we played. So I was in Ascaria at the time, and we played with like Moss of Flames at that spot, because that was a skate park where you like played on the half pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that venue. Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna kill me.
Well, Clearwater Theater now.
They're starting to bring back shows.
They
Rock
are.
House.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing flyers now for them.
Hell yeah.
For stuff. So it's pretty cool
Hell
to see
yeah.
that. And actually, Dream, I'll be seeing those guys.
Yep. I'll be there.
Hey.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be a fun one, because
It
like
will.
that venue, I remember. So I played what is now Rock House, Clearwater Theater, when I was in a band called History is Myth, like years ago. And that was a venue that, to like a local level, like if you played that venue, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sound there was sick. You get this high ass stage.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's like a larger than life feeling kind of room. Like it's almost like I consider that like the local House of Blues, like the local band House of Blues. Like that venue
feel ya.
is sick. So
I feel ya.
I'm excited to like go. The last time I think I was there. Are you good?
I'm gonna play.
I don't know what it is. The last time I was there, I think I saw Attila on the Rage tour.
Wow.
So this was like
Wow.
2008, 2009, something
Yeah.
like that. Like it was
Yeah.
forever ago.
Dang.
So-
Yeah. It's going to be exciting to go back there because
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
So that's where you would see me play if I was in for music and everything. So after a while, this is where I give literally every band, especially that are playing nowadays, credit, because it's insane to have the one dealing with the things that we are dealing with in today's world, and the fact of just like dealing with like 4, 5, however many people are in the band, not just yourselves, but each individual's mindsets and physical aspects and everything. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I just thank you so much for, I say this to like every band that I work with, where it's just like, thank you, because if I wasn't doing this, I would be playing music, but it's a lot.
It definitely is a lot. And it's like, people, I haven't played shows in years up until being in SoulKiller, like probably like 13 years. And I've had a lot of friends who used to be in the scene, and they were like, what is it like being in a band now? And I'm like, there's a different level of maturity, where like, when you're 18, 19, even younger than that, like you're still trying to figure yourself out as a person. Everyone's trying to figure themselves out. There's a lot of ego flying around. Everyone's trying to puff their chest out the most in bands. Arguments are happening. And now, like, I tell them, I'm like, oh yeah, well, like we still have arguments. Like it's gonna happen, It's just like you put five dudes in a room, something's gonna exactly. I was like, it is literally like being married to 5 or 4 other dudes. Like that's what it's like, and it's like I love all the dudes in my band. Sometimes we all want to kill each other, but like it's all out of love. You know what I mean? It's just like
you guys want the creating process to work and everything, and you want everyone to have their insides, and there's going to be some times where it just doesn't work or match, regardless if it's musical choice or your creative choice, you as a person, outside inflictions, whatever. And for me, when go
no, I was, I was just like, let me check his frame.
for me, once I started getting to a point with music and just dealing with either people's differences and everything like that, I was like, I really just want to reflect on me and how I want to grow and everything. And kind of sat there for a little while. Got to the age of 24 and just doing the same thing, working day in, day out, not really doing anything too crazy.
I'm gonna pause you.
Yeah.
I think he's got to go outside.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the
Is that what it is? Is that the back and forth? He's gonna poop.
With the power of editing, we're back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where were we? Sure, I'm all good, right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Doing great.
All right. So yeah. Wind back to
Local bands, being in
Local bands.
groups with people, dealing with personalities.
pretty much got to the tail end of for me making music and everything, and pretty much decided to enlist. Did 6 years of my God, why am I being a brain fart right now? 6 years of reserves on the Marine Corps, 2 years inactive.
No shit.
So it was 2011. Got out of the active part of it 2016.
Okay.
So during that time period, nothing music, no ties whatsoever.
Sure.
Nothing. Still friends and stuff like that and everything, but I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Just really focusing on with the military and everything. And my reason for going in that was I've never been my dad was in, had family members in and everything like that, but I was never really gung ho this is it and everything.
Yeah. Hey, come here.
Definitely had getting in when I was there, kind of like that. You just did that.
Yeah. You're like, shit.
and no regrets whatsoever. Sure. I'm really thankful that I didn't have to do anything crazy. Never saw combat.
Sure.
Because people have their different beliefs and everything like that for stuff like that. But I think I got in and did that moment of my life kind of at the right time.
Okay.
So got some cool knowledge from that and everything. I was a 0621 radio operator. Nothing really cool to bring over in. I will say I did get a little screwed at MEPS there because they were like, hey, here's some other MOSs that you got to choose from. Because I literally was trying to aim for something for combat photography or graphic arts. And I couldn't get those because I would also have to wait for a longer period to leave time and everything. And dude, man, 24. And at that time, still feeling good. I went in, I was 120 pounds. I just weighed myself a few days ago. I'm hit about on that cusp of 160. I was like, dude, how did that happen, man?
I feel that with my whole soul.
Yeah. And I was just reflecting on that the other day. It doesn't help that when you just turned 39 last year too. Yeah. So I'm knocking on that 40 too. Well, I'm back doing all that. Met my my now wife Barb during that time period and everything. She's just been amazing and supportive as ever. Did some amazing trips with her. Did some really cool stuff. Towards the end of my military career, most of my decision making has just been kind of I want to do this, and it's ADD brain. I want to do this now. I want to do it this. Commit, go, just like that.
Dude, I don't know what I don't know what his deal is today. He's so hyper.
He's just on it, man.
Come here.
Just on it.
Yeah, dude. What is this about? He's please take me. I was
Do you have a ball?
Dude, he's got.
I know. I see. He's got so much.
Yeah, no, he's let's go crazy.
And now editing again.
Jesus.
So, met my wife. Did a lot of traveling through that time of my military career and everything.
What were some of the your favorite places?
Okinawa, Japan.
Okay.
Okinawa, Japan.
Yeah, I didn't even get through my sentence. You're like, Okinawa.
No, you said favorite. I knew exactly. Well, I mean, so I got to go twice. Once for military service, and the other time with my wife there. Yeah. Literally, I was there in Okinawa, and her friend is married to a lieutenant. Okay. Who's also in the Marines. the cool part about that, my last 2 like days that I was there, his unit ended up like kind of meeting up in the same area as us. And I'm going down to like get like with my guys and everything to go do something, and we're like, you kind of have to like where we were at on base. We kind of had a march together.
Sure.
When you march, you have to do that whole saluting thing and everything, and walking past some shinies. That's when you got to do it.
Yeah.
And I see that, but I also kind of recognize a face, and we go past, and I do the salute and everything, but I stop and I the platoon, a tent hut, all that and everything, because I was leading us and everything, and stop, and it's like only like 6 of us, so it wasn't like anything crazy, but like just stop, and I kind of run over, I'm like, excuse me, sir, and see, it's my buddy Eric, it's him and everything, and like those last 2 days of me actually doing the training, I got to hang out with him and everything.
That's
and then
awesome.
like a week after we came back, and then we stayed with them for our vacation there and everything.
That's awesome.
So Okinawa is definitely the top one, but fighting that it's accidental, just happened to be on our 1 year of being together, not married, just together in a relationship. When she got her bachelor's degree, she made a promise to herself that she would do like a big travel and everything.
Sure.
That travel was to Ireland. And she met me, and I was like, I'm going too. So around our 1 year, we ended up going to Ireland together, and I love that. We did. It was all like Southern Ireland, but we did like a whole like ring to Dublin, Cork, Killarney, and Limerick, I believe.
So do you travel a lot in general, or?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We've done Okinawa, we've done that. We've gone to like interstate wise. We've done Colorado. I proposed to her in Salem, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And we've gone twice.
Was that based on like the love for horror? Okay, I love that.
Dad was born on Halloween.
Your dad was born on Halloween?
Yeah, my dad was born on Halloween. That's fucking
cool.
Yep, born on Halloween. So that was just like from the get go. Like I literally like evil that alive on here. Horror is a big thing, influence, and thankfully the person that I love happens to love horror and fall just on she loves it for sure, but yeah. I'm like, I've definitely been a huge influence, and I've seen like her growth of like, all right, I'm really liking this more now.
Yeah.
It turned to a point where I'd be like, all right, we're gonna watch this. It goes to where she's like, oh dude, you gotta check this out, I just saw this, and I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. So
you're like, that's nice.
But yeah, we've done all those kind of like we just do as much traveling as we can.
That's awesome.
We don't have kids, so that's another big thing for us to be doing.
Do you guys plan on having
that.
kids or no?
No.
Same.
And it's not that we, in a sense, wouldn't. It's just the fact that like for how things are, it's not good. It sucks. But at the same time, we're being responsible to ourselves in a sense of just, and we want to do what's right, and we also don't want to put ourselves or anyone that, as of now, if we feel that we wouldn't be able to take care of or to in the level that we would see fit.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for me and my wife too. It's just kind of like things are so chaotic to bring another like our thing has always been, if we're gonna do anything with kids, we would adopt, instead of bringing another one into the world. There are plenty out there that need a home, so it's like,
I mean, that's what we're looking into here. That's our next big thing here is move, and that's, I was telling you earlier, like we're probably going to be doing that with this year and everything, so that's our fingers crossed for that. We got some good stuff going for us. So.
And then you were talking DeKalb area for moving.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's
Did you ever play House Cafe?
Dude, that's another like old school like oh man. To bring it back to old school days. Who is it? Devil Wears Prada, Chiodos, Every Time I Die, The Chariot, Horse the Band.
So many huge acts would go through
all there. I saw them all there. Like I like the House Cafe has just it was a nut house. Like anytime I ever,
and it was tiny.
Yes.
Tiny.
So to see like these hardcore or like these big time bands playing there, and then where they are now is like that's insane. Yeah. And is it up and running now? I thought I heard something.
I think it's Oh, okay, we're not doing this. I think it's literally
no.
just like a coffee shop now, or
okay.
maybe it's not. Maybe it's a restaurant or something.
Smaller down to what it would.
Yeah, I mean, it was. For people that don't know what the House Cafe was, it was a venue that literally up front was like a coffee shop with pastries and shit, and then you go down. I think it was like 1 or 2 steps, and then it was maybe like probably about the size of the room that we're in. Maybe a little bit bigger space-wise.
For people, the audience, yeah. And like it was probably about the size of up to your kneecap where the stage would come off.
Yeah.
The last band I saw at the House Cafe was Dead Awake.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep. They were the last guys that it was actually
Stop.
It's like, come on, let me join.
Lay down. Dude.
He's
Unbelievable.
Right. You gotta love him.
I know.
Gotta love him. I'm just a silly boy. Or no,
he's just like
boy.
He's a boy. He's a dude. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the last band. I actually got I forgot who invited me to go check out that show, because I think that was like the second time I had seen them. But I think I had a buddy that was playing in a band, and they just happened to be playing. So yeah, that was the last time I saw a show there was for them. Yeah.
I just saw Dylan posted like when he joined the band. I didn't realize Dead Awake used to have 2 vocalists.
That was
let
the show.
alone I didn't know that there was another vocalist that started out before Dylan with that band, because I think Dead Awake and I'm like, Dylan. You know.
Oh no, I'm a big dummy. That was not the last time. Actually, they were on that. It was them, and then I forgot who else was on that. It was the farewell show for the House Cafe. It was the final one.
Okay.
So yeah, man, that is a venue.
Yeah.
So yeah, traveling, old school venues, old school bands, being in bands, a little bit of graphic stuff and everything, military.
Dude, you've done a lot.
I've done a lot, a little bit.
So what gets you then? Obviously, you have this love for music. You have this love for art. Here comes live photography.
Yeah.
What was or is like your influence for what you're doing? You're literally at like almost every show.
Yeah, it's getting calls to be at shows now. I mean, it's been. I can't honestly say I've had a moment of downtime that wasn't like I didn't have anyone or like have something happening. It's been more, if I did have downtime, it's because I needed it, and I've scheduled it in for myself.
And I love seeing too. You're like, all right, these are the dates that I have available. This is when I'm booked, and these are my blackout dates.
Right.
And I love that you do that, because otherwise people will just be hitting you up nonstop, and you're like, when do I breathe?
And that's fine. People can completely do that and everything, but it's like just understand I'm also a human too, and I have an outside life and everything, and I have a regular 9 to 5 too and everything. But I want to make it so that it was always just like that information's there for people, as long as if you're looking for it and everything. Yeah. But if you're not looking for it and you ask, I can at least then grab it and be like, there you go. This is what I got or not. I literally work with like a 2 calendar system, mine, and then the at home calendar and everything. So, but to bring it back in, you're doing good. You're okay.
Doing great.
To bring it back now to where the component of me starting to work shows. So this is a big thank you to Jake Chevy Studios. We go back from shows back in the day. Ben, these guys, I don't know how or the connection that they had at the time and everything. This was kind of just like a thrown in kind of like a dart at the board a little bit, I would feel. So I got at the very end of my having to go in and report for duty and all that stuff and everything for my services for the military, and what do I do now? I have this time. I got the day job and everything, but what do I want to do and everything? Well, I started turning into doing logos first.
Okay.
So that's like getting back into graphic arts. Like I had a knack for it. I had a buddy that just reached out and I was in like one of my old like grindcore bands back in the day. Like he's like, "Hey man, I need a logo. Can you help me out?" Sure, man. Boom, 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 boom. There you go.
Yeah.
And started just kind of fooling around that a little bit more, and the business started doing well enough to where I was like, okay, I can do this. This is fine. Starting at the low end of like literally doing like $25 logo, like, or even like just to get that publicity out there and everything. Like you gotta start somewhere and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm also not in the factor of like, I'm not trying to rob people on like, I understand how hard it is even before this year, like 15, like just being out in the music industry and dealing with
it's
stuff.
Tough. Yeah,
I get it.
Well, and now everything is so expensive.
Very much so. Very much
so
so.
expensive.
So you see a lot of people going to like vintage style critiques, and it's because that stuff still works. And I understand like having the multi-million-dollar setups on certain things. I'm not talking like anything like music gear, merchandising, whatever it is. Like it's up there, and you have to try to do your best to like find that equal level that works for you. So, pretty much started doing that, and I get a message from Chevy, and he's like, "Hey, man, don't know if this is something that you would be interested in, but we're shooting for the Faceless at the Forge for, I forgot what tour it was. It was the Faces, The Last 10 Seconds of Life, Rings of Saturn." I forgot who else was on that one.
Was that how long that was? Is the Faceless still a band?
No, well, I mean, as far as I know, they're not playing and everything. Rings of Saturn is. I had them come up for a photo shoot at my studio before that. The Chaos and Carnage.
Weren't they also at the venue? What was it? That venue that got hit by that tornado, was it last year?
I don't know.
Were they playing that show?
I don't know if that. I don't know anything about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, there was like I forget what venue it was. It was up north, and it was like crazy weather, and the whole ceiling collapsed in.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was insane. It was super scary shit.
I didn't hear anything about that. I'll have to check out about. But this was, they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, we just need another hand can you take photos?" I'm like, I mean, I literally had, like, my dad had it, like, literally one of those, like, simple, like, kind of point and click Nikons. Yeah. And it's just, I forgot what it shot in, but it was nice and simple, just a basic starter. No, not
interchangeable.
Just standard. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And it's cool. I get to go shoot for the Faceless, like, yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity right there. Like, I didn't think of it as like a potential of like, this is going to start into what I am now.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, I did it. I had so much fun. Like, it was so cool. Like going there and just having that experience of like not necessarily like, I don't get starstruck with celebrities or anything like that. I mean, everyone has their moments of like, oh, you get that and everything. But I try to like, we're all people, we're all doing our thing. We're all just trying to enjoy.
Get by.
Yeah. Just
we're all
enjoy
getting by.
And do. Yeah. So as like things started progressing more and I kind of got more like of that feeling of like it, mainly from that show and then just doing some here and there and everything, I was just like, really like this. This is cool. Like I enjoy I don't play music anymore. I mean, I maybe another give me like another like 10 years here or something like that. I'll get back into playing drums, because that was another thing too. In high school, I did percussion. I was saying before. Yeah. To second year drummer, I did high school band and all that and everything. So I got about like 15, 20 years of percussion under me. Okay. And then being in the bands and everything like that. Yeah. So maybe, but it would be something like just something chill and relax on my own level of enjoyment and everything. So, but I was like, this is really cool, and I'm really enjoying this, and I want to keep doing this. And as I progressed more, going to shows and supporting, realizing again how many different influenced bands there were, I was just like, there's just so much to enjoy here and everything, and I want to try to do my best to capture these moments as best I can. And I started really looking at my my mail. Started looking at started looking at my imagery a lot more, and how I wanted to really like just narrow in my style and everything. And don't get me wrong, like anyone can literally do the same thing, and it's just more of like, how do I do that but also bring in with my personality to where that's on a level that it's unique of its own.
Yeah.
And
you definitely have your own look. Like, I'll see photos pop up and I'm like, that's a Mike Lowy photo. That's a Mike Lowy photo.
It's
that's
fun.
And
It's cool.
And it's so cool that you've developed that brand where it is all so concise. Like, people don't understand how much work that actually takes. Is just like to be able to have your imagery or your art, like people to see it and just be like, yeah, he did that. That's huge. It's super cool.
It is nice. It's nice. At that same point in time, though, I've never felt like I needed to be like, I am better than everyone else. Like, kind of like I've never had that critique. There's been moments where I've been like, it feels like, oh, like again, like and this was a new experience for me too as well to take. And I had to like kind of like step back and be like, it's not that, it's just, it's inspiration and everything. And if people want to like aim for that, let them do that and everything. But never knock anyone down just because they have the same passion that you do.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when it came to music, and it's the same thing when it comes to if you're a welder or whatever, man. Just like, we're all doing it for the enjoyment and everything.
Yeah.
Why knock each other down just because you don't like what they're producing? Then you don't have to listen to it, or whatever.
That's something that like I've always preached. Like, there are bands where I'm like, not my favorite, don't love it, but I respect the fuck out of what you're doing, because you're still up on that stage doing the thing. And like, I will always support that kind of mentality, because it takes a lot of balls to get up in front of people.
It does.
And show your art to the world or to your community or whatever it is. Like, it's a scary thing sometimes, and like, people are brutal.
Oh, very much.
People are super brutal. So like anyone, and I've always been a big advocate for it. It doesn't matter from music videos to photos to painting to live music, like whatever it is. Like, if you're doing the thing, I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy also watching the progression, especially from like when people start out.
Oh yeah.
And then you start seeing like something happens one day, and then you get like I've seen this with a lot of photographers and videographers. Like, you see a video or a photo, and then something happened one day in between that release to their next one. You're like, whoa.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
What clicked there for you? It's the whole art industry is just so much fun in that aspect, and kind of like what you're saying, it's like working with people and building up with them versus just like tearing them down for what they're trying to do. It's like people are going to find their own way, and do their own thing.
There have been clients that I've had that have been like, man, that's cool. Yeah. Like, that's cool. Yep. Like, and if that's what you guys are producing and everything, and it's also one, like, I'm not going to go out and be like, oh, you guys need to do this to do whatever. Like, your art is your art and everything. I'm just here to capture it. And like, that's a whole nother thing too. Like, so getting in more with doing the picture taking and everything. Again, shout out to Chevy Studios, Jake, Ben, Rose.
They have a great fucking team.
Oh, we fucking go hard when we get together.
I was super stoked because we did like the live video thing for Pride Metal Fest, and dude, what we got back, I was like, holy shit. Like, it was so good, so fun, so much energy. I loved everything about what we got back. Like, it was really
that was
cool.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I also, through my process, and this is another reason why I'm saying, like, don't shoot people down. Literally, my entry as I was progressing in through music, some other bands, some old school bands that are not together anymore, or some that are around, or that were in the time of one that helped me out, Nakarin or Nako. God, who else? I'm trying to think of some. I mean, there's all these. Some of these bands are still together. Bind the Sacrifice. Again, Dead Awake. It's gotten to a point now where a lot of bands, it's just like there's so many, like
you shoot for a lot of bands, yeah.
But some of these older bands and to where they are now is just like it's awesome to see the progression. But like through that, I met another person just like myself that was just kind of like they're doing it. Emily of Dark Trick Photography.
Okay. Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She was just I think she was like I forgot when we met. I think it was at a Nakarin show, and I ended up having like someone reach out to me for something, and I was like, I can't do it. Hit up Emily.
Yeah.
And then I believe she took that, but then like also there was another thing where we needed another helping hand, and or I was like, hey, Emily, come with Chevy and us to do this, because I think it was another like Faceless thing or something that, or Rings of Saturn. I can't remember what it was. I think like remember the band Interlooper? They were playing at Reggie's. Again, just the history and everything. Arabella.
Oh, I do remember that band.
Those guys, hats off to them. R.I.P. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But like, that group of us grew from that, and that's a whole nother growth too, and everything.
Sure.
Like, not just myself, but like I learned a lot through those individuals. Like, I have like a good vast on like comprehension on when it comes to like how to work camera and like editing and all that stuff and everything, but like working with a team for the first time and like growing from that like really helped, like just to kind of like be more open-minded and being like, wow, I'm gonna try that or something like that. Like, like,
it's
to be doing
thing.
like to be like looking now into kind of like doing like video stuff, and I'm not doing editing. I'm sorry, man. I tip my hat to you. I did like some like lyric videos back in the day. No.
It's editing.
No.
Dude, luckily, full disclosure for this podcast, I use AI. There's an AI editor that'll flip cameras and shit. I'm like,
when it comes to AI, it's a tool. Use it the way it needs to be used. Don't abuse it. But
it's just so I can keep doing more of these and just pump them out.
That's fine.
That's it.
That's fine. My through that whole growth though and everything, it helped really kind of put a perspective on like it's not just you. Yeah. There's multiple people here doing multiple things that bring it in. That comes in for like promoters through behind the scenes, stage hands, everything. Like everyone is doing this because they love for the art, the passion for the music, for whatever. And like it was so cool going through that with them and building that up and everything. And then it got to a point where I was like, I want to really aim for, again, bring it back to my style and everything. And then, man, threw a freaking fisheye on my setup, and just like I still shoot like some standard 50 shots and everything. Like I still do that, but when I threw on the fisheye and just really kind of had a way of like making my style, and like I said, capturing that moment is really what I drive in. Capturing the chaos was what I was really branding myself as. Like I want like the environment. Like it's one thing, like I love certain styles of like photo taking and everything. Everyone has their style, and I definitely will be aiming for those other styles and everything. But as of right now, to have this signature kind of look right now that it's really cool.
Your photography has a lot of energy in it.
Yeah.
There's different ways of shooting and storytelling. You have the energy of the night.
Yeah.
So locked in.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And then you have other photographers who might go more of the traditional route, and they're capturing more of like the memory of it, or like kind of like this. I think of portrait stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So you're capturing more of like a different type of emotion with that, But like your stuff, capturing the chaos is literally such a good phrase for like how you shoot, because like you see your photos and they are chaotic.
Yeah.
But like you can just tell like that band was
I
throwing down.
Like a controlled chaos. Like I want to say like the way I can from my settings and everything, from controlling just like the stop motion to getting like second delay effect. There was something that I had going on. I'm pretty sure it was broken, but we like happy
accidents.
I used it, and I've been able to produce like this weird like off time still of like 2 point. There's my favorite one. I just posted it today. Actually, is from Dropout Kings.
Okay,
he's doing the Kamehame like push, but you can see the build, and then he actually
that's
does
fucking
this,
cool.
And it's just like. Those happen Zach has one.
Yes.
Of him like twisting, and it's like I'm telling you, it's not supposed to do that. Otherwise, you'll get like just the standard look of just like of just the fisheye, and it's still that style is still there, but like. Man, I love it when when those happy accidents happen.
Yeah. Well, and like even so, I do a lot of weddings, and like I will try to incorporate some of that energy into like the reception and stuff, and like I can kind of hit it some days.
Yeah.
And there's been plenty of times where I'm like, I gotta reach out to Lowy and see like what he's doing, because like I can kind of get it,
Shake
but I'm like
the camera violently.
Right. Exactly. And it's like some days I can get him, and other days I can't. I'm not consistent.
So I'm shooting on Nikon's D5 and 3000 series.
Okay.
So they're old models.
Sure.
They're nothing crazy. Same thing with the fisheye. It's like a $200 lens.
Those are the best lenses.
I mean, it's again for what I'm capturing. This is just kind of the simplicity of what my style setup is. Yeah. So like it's nothing crazy. I have basic insurance for those, so in case if I do fall over, because that's another thing too. It's one thing doing like pulling the trigger on the shot. You also have to get yourself in there too.
Yeah. Didn't I hit your camera? I think we bumped at before, one, and I was like,
yeah, no, you were, yeah.
I was like, oh god.
I've done that before. Not as like I probably at most like 5 shows that there's been like once where it's been like but it was like that. There was one at this coffee shops, man. At this one, I forgot the name of this one. It was a coffee shop. I forgot the name of the band, but the lead singer like bobbed his head down, but like he hit the frame, the little oh my god,
the lens cap,
not the lens cap, but
the lens hood.
The hood.
Yeah.
He hit the hood, and he hit it so hard his glasses came off, but he also chipped the fuck out of the hood. It's fine. Again, I don't fucking care about a hood.
It's just the hood.
I ended up getting another of that fisheye anyway.
Sure.
So now I have an extra hood anyway. So it's like, all right, cool. It just builds character.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too, and it's also being able to read you guys as well. Like as much as I do, the small count of close calls that I've had, the amount of images that I've had is because of being able to read you guys and being able to means getting information from you guys in the sense of like what songs you guys are playing, if I can ahead of time, set times, or how many songs you're playing. Obviously comes down to knowing your hitter hits of songs, but also listening to you guys in general and everything. And with that comes with any video that you guys have prior to help. It's doing homework too a little bit. Like, there are times where it's just like I got nothing. I'm going in blind here.
Sure.
Whatever you guys give me.
Good luck.
And when that happens, then I have to do a lot more because as much as I understand with some people when it gets to being up on stage, it's hard sometimes to do the whole get into your music because you don't know. I mean, yeah, it sucks playing in front of one person, but you know what? You are.
You know what? And it's funny that you bring that up. I always tell people, even if you are playing in front of one person, give them a hell of a show. Because that is a guarantee one fan.
Yeah.
That is one fan who will listen to your music for however long.
You have that person's attention for the next half an hour. Do it.
Yep.
Just the progression of getting my signature style finally down, and then as that happened over the years of just working with bands and everything, and then like I said, getting my getting my signature, getting like the understanding of my personality to bands to like kind of like understand like this isn't like I get like you don't need like photos at every show and everything, but I want you to know that I am there for you guys for your moments that you guys really truly need it and everything. It's great if I just saw you like last month and everything, I'll definitely work with you again, but I really want to make sure that bands are really putting in like, cause I honestly, I could probably, as long as like my body is keeping up with it and everything, like knees still holding strong and everything. The way that I'm doing my capturing signature style now will probably be good for like another 4 or 5 years. I can see myself. After that, I'm going to be turning into one of those like sideline photographers with the like a big ass lens,
and
man,
just
or
shooting
just
from the back,
portrait style, baby. We'll just keep it simple, man. Just keep it simple.
But there's still so many epic moments you can capture in that too. You know? Like it's,
and I don't mean to make that sound like an old fart.
Oh no,
like that.
Trust
just
me,
like,
I got you.
Like I feel like with what I'm doing right now, I feel like as in like this is like it's getting to like a really good. Like, I don't want to call it the peak, but it's like, this is as best as I can, like, I feel like for what I'm able to do for people and what my offering is, I think it's as good as it gets. And I absolutely love it. I love being able to go in to not just do that for you guys, but for you guys to give me your performance. I want to see what you guys are doing just as much. Like, it sucks when you have a client or the music isn't your jam. But I'm still going to be interested in it because there's still something there that you're still providing. But hell yeah, it's great when you guys, an example, like when you guys bring so much passion to your music, and the music itself is just like fucking listen to you guys every day when I'm packing up weed and everything, man. Like,
thank you.
That's like I literally have a locals playlist of like every client that I've worked with, where I'm just you guys are on rotation and everything. Like if it's not today, then it's tomorrow. But that's again another factoring in of like I can't thank you guys enough for what you guys do, because if you guys didn't do it, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Well, I think too, just as far as like your personality, when you're a very easy person to work with, you are very straightforward, and that is something I love about you. I'm just like, hey dude, how much is it going to cost me for this? And you're not like, well, normally I would this, and it's just like, this is the amount.
Do that.
This is what you're going to get.
You
keep it so simple, and I love that. And then I also love seeing like even shows that like, even if we're offset or like we're not playing, I've seen you at shows and you're just into the music. You're just having a good time. You're jamming, you're taking your photos, and you're just like, it's so awesome to see that kind of energy, because you do get people who will come in, capture things, and you just like, they don't look like they're necessarily having fun. It looks like they're doing a job, and it's like, cool, like your work's good.
They are. But I hear what you're saying. Like, it can be very vanilla at times and everything. And it is. Like, it's one of my things that I was like, I wanted to bring into just being like, it's one thing going in and capturing, but I want to bring my personality. I just don't want me to be like, I'm it's a way of also like selling yourself too and everything. Like, I want to kind of like stand out. Like, Do I need to be number one? No, but I want to be able to have people be like you said, that's a Lowy pick, that's Undefined Graphics, that's his work. And because there will become a day where like necessarily like you may not be able to recognize my work, but you're gonna be like, oh crap, that's you, like because again, I'm not gonna be shooting this style, and maybe I won't be shooting bands.
There's
maybe
always an evolution.
There's always something different and everything. Like I was saying, like I honestly can see myself going hard for like another 5 years. And like I only say that now because I'm just putting that out on like an insurance thing, because as of right now it's choo-choo, it's all like it's all we're doing it, like there's no stop.
Is there a future where you see just going full time into it?
Love to, but today's a comedy and how things are.
Yeah, that's
it's a little
fair.
hard at
it's
times.
Fair. It really it really is.
Bring it back around with like being able to work with bands on a level that it's working with them. Like, don't get me wrong, like my level that I guess this is a better way of putting it, like saying like, so I'm not a touring photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put myself in a position of that because of it's hard. That lifestyle on the road is hard.
Yeah.
Again, props to you guys for doing it.
Yep.
I will be there for moments that you, what did you hear? Like work out something, get a plan set up. Hell yeah. I have no problem doing that. That's where I put myself on a level of like that full timeness. And when I say like the 5 year thing, like it definitely goes past that, and in a sense of saying like, as long as you need me, I'm there. Yeah. So as long as I can walk and do all that, what I need to or whatever, I'm there. So
that's what I love about you, man. You're just like, I don't know if people like watching this or listening right now can feel the passion. There's so much passion just coming off of you right now, dude. It's like it just makes what you do and your art like that much better. It's like even like me, like being like I've been freelancing now for 5 years, and like there are days where I just don't have that level of passion, and it's just like yep. But like it just radiates off of you every single time I see you out in the wild. I'm just like, fuck.
It'll probably grow a little bit more here too, especially not being at the old job anymore now too. Like mental health wise, like has just gone like up like crazy, like for me in a positive, like not that it wasn't there before. For like, again, you see me at shows and everything. That's like 10% of what, in a sense, and everything. But like, that is what I want to present to people. So that's like 100%. Like, again, like not to say that I don't have my days that suck and everything like that, but I want people to know that just that professionalism and everything, and just like the critique of like also caring about what people are doing is there. And having changed like my lifestyle up here a little bit has definitely helped that out tremendously. Through the years of growing up, from like basic photography knowledge from high school, then getting in with Chevy Studios, with also getting in with the fests and everything too, because that was another big movement for me too, to work with more client base and everything. Because as of right now, I like consider myself like a tri-state area photographer. Just because it's again, as long as dates match up and I can work it and everything, and you need me there, cool. So the last 5-6 years have been like a really good like hit on the tri-state area, and getting on the fest, like especially with Heirs of Humanity, with Milwaukee Metal Fest, and Casket Robbery. I love those guys. And then obviously worked doing Michigan Metal Fest too, and everything. Steve, who runs that, is phenomenal. He's had us and the crew come out there, and he's just provided everything that we've needed those years. If you guys ever get a chance, to play.
We submitted. We didn't
Did
get
you?
it. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, we didn't get it.
No. We have
One day.
we have a meeting coming up, and that's the for the what I'm assuming is going to be
lineup
and stuff
yeah.
like that. But I think they're getting ready to reveal that too. But because there was this whole thing that we have to deal with like media and everything last year was like I said, all you young photographers and everyone going out and doing it, do it. But oh my god,
it's definitely one of those things where like art has so many different flows to it, right?
Right.
Even in a work environment, if they say, "Hey, this is your lineup. This is what's going to happen throughout the day. It's going to be this, and this." Expect like 5 things to go wrong,
exactly.
It's out of your control, and you just got to roll with punches. It's just like, oh,
yes,
okay, like, whatever.
Just like I'll be fully honest here. I feel like I've been very lucky in how things have gone, kind of like just like step by step a little bit for myself. But I've also kind of just been very direct on what I've always wanted to do.
Sure.
So it has kind of just been like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But I have a lot of people to thank for that. I didn't just do this just because I picked up a camera one day and I started doing showing up and everything. I have a lot of people to thank. Yeah. And the ones that I didn't, I'm sorry, but thank you. There's a lot of people. There is. But it's literally just now. This is where we're at right now. I want to continue doing this. Yeah. It's been an absolute blast. Again, anyone that's inspired or anything like that, keep that up and everything. It's obviously a matter of being respectful to not just yourself and everything, but to your client and the people in the industry in general too, because it's one thing going and doing these shows, but there's people also doing their jobs as well, that they have to make sure that they're getting theirs. And you go to a show, please be respectful to other musicians or photographers or videographers or whoever they're, especially if they're paid to be there. And it's another thing too. Like, I don't think I ever had any issues with, like, in a sense of like stepping on toes or anything like that. But it's been like, you want to make sure that you're being respectful and that the people that are there that are actually like working, like I completely understand building a profile, but there's been times where I've just seen like people just like walk on others, and it sucks when that happens. And that's all I really can say is just have fun at the same time though. Like the respect and all that stuff is one thing, but as long as you're doing that, just have fun then, and then be creative. Like,
also don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yes. Like, there's
no one's gonna be annoyed or
and
whatever.
If they are, fuck that person.
Right, exactly. Like, that person's miserable. But there is like I don't do a lot of like show shooting. I've done it like once or twice, and
it's not a big thing. Like, honestly, Chicagoland area is really great with their videographers and photographers. I don't know anyone that's a red flag. Yeah. And most of the time, it's not even a matter of like saying like what I would go off of. It's a matter of what you want, man. Just because I don't shoot you doesn't mean I have to. Like, you go get who you want, you know? Get your moment captured. That's the important thing. Like, it's just as important for you as it is for the individual that you either hired or didn't hire, or you're like, hey, come and shoot, you know? I had a client recently, or a potential client, they were like, we want you, but we got family coming in. And I'm like, wait, so they're going to take the photos? Wouldn't you want me to take the photos? Yeah. Vice versa? Like, that's cool. That's all right. That's fine. But it was just, it's like you're going to have weird moments like that. And that happens. And when that does happen, don't burn bridges, you know? Don't there's going to be times where I've definitely had moments where I've been like, man, I don't know. And some situations, it can suck sometimes and everything. And one of the things is to remember to remember what you're doing is a business, but also to, as much as I'm bringing in my personality, I also have to try to be careful about like not like again, I know you to like 10% for when we're doing like shows, another like percentage from online. Like that's, I'm not getting a full 100%. And it's the same thing, vice versa.
Yeah.
As much as I want to stand up for each and every one that they're a good boy and girl or whatever, like, you know, you're not there 24/7. You can't you're not there to you're not a chaperone.
Yeah.
And as much as it can, sometimes people can have that title of like, oh, you're the eyes and ears of like, no.
You're like, I'm just here to do my job.
No, just here doing a job. And it's the same thing when it comes to individuals and bands, whatever. Like, it's like, I've gone through a lot of shitty, like moments that like it hurt because my art that I had made for individuals, I can no longer use that. Like, it sucks. Yeah. Like being like there, and those moments, can't do it. Yeah. Can't do it. Yeah. And it really sucks when people, like, again, whatever you're going through, take care of it. Yeah. That's it. Like, and, if you're going to be negative or whatever, you're going to be negative. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to just being, I don't know, cool, level-headed as possible, and just not being an ass, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Like, no, just...
it's absolutely. I think there's a lot of that because you can't take back your actions. Like once it happens, that's it. You know, so it's like. However, you might.
I don't lock doors. Don't lock doors. Right. Like the doors, it'll be closed, but it's never locked. But it's in a sense of like, okay, like I'm not gonna like in a way of as I was looking at my day-to-day job that I got out of, like I wasn't happy. I'm not gonna put myself in keep myself in a toxic environment consistently. Like it like everyone unfortunately they've drank from a Kool-Aid once or twice. It happens. It's a matter of like recognizing the signs and then realizing when you need to get out. Yeah. And especially with how today is and everything like that. I don't need to sound like negative Nancy or anything. It's the realism shit. Like because I've this whole time I've like it's like everything that I've done has been like positive, like in like speaking. So like here's a little bit of the negative side and everything. Just realize that you have to, like, there's not everyone's going to be looking out for you, and not everyone is going to have the intention for you or necessarily for themselves and everything. Yeah. They may not even know. Yeah. So all I can really say is just go out there, be safe, respectful, have fun, and be creative. Best way of putting it right there.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. So wrapping up here, because we're about an hour and 11 in. Cool. So wrapping up here, if people want to get a hold of you, where do they get a hold of you? And then if you're comfortable with it, like intro, like pricing breakdown. They're like, hey, I want to hit you up. Like, what can I expect?
So you can. I do have the Instagram, Facebook. Facebook is Mike Lowy. That's Lowy. That's just like. You can send me a request and I'll add you. That's just the best way of like doing like the business talk and everything. I do email and everything at mikelowy@yahoo.com. I do have my website that's also on Facebook as well. Instagram is Undefined Graphics. Again, all profiles are linked onto my Facebook as well too there. I do have a actual Facebook page for Undefined Graphics, but I don't necessarily use it as much. Sure. Personal pages, unfortunately, are a little bit easier to communicate. But yes, MikeLowy@yahoo.com for email, and then Mike Lowy, Lowy, on Facebook has all my my website link and everything. It is a Zenfollow link. So it's like Undefined Graphics, but the link's there, so you'll be able to click on it. It's got all my previous work on there from photography, logo design, videography stuff is still something new right now. So pricing isn't necessarily up on there, but you can find all the pricing on there. I do have different rates and different packages and everything like that. So just as your basic needs, please see fit. But yeah, feel free to hit me up on Messenger for any info and all that. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
You'll find me at any Chicagoland local show as long as I'm free.
Hell yeah. All right, dude. I appreciate you coming on. It's been a blast talking with you. And,
Thank you.
Again, like, thank you for what you do for the music scene, because you do a lot. You radiate that passion, that energy, and it's nice to see that, because you could be having a bad day and then you bump into Mike.
Hey, man. I just try to do my best, man. I just try to do my best, just like all you guys. And I can't thank you guys enough for your passion in music and being able to get up there and do what you guys are doing and everything to deliver, regardless if it's one person or a sold out show. Thank you for that. And again, just thank you. I want everybody that has helped me along my way to get where I am today. It's people like you. I can't thank you guys all enough. So to my family, to my wife, to my friends, bands, clients, other photographers, videographers, you guys all know who you are, and thank you guys very much. So thank you.
Hell yeah.
So
awesome, man. Thank you.
See you in the chaos.
Yes, sir.
Interaction completed. Terminating transmission.